Well, that was obviously
We'll let you know if you do good.
that was obviously a very challenging weekend. That Cal team, man, they had a good ball club. We always knew about Andrew Vaughn, but little Darren Baker and their catcher is a great ball player. Their leadoff hitter, their shortstop made all the plays. I mean, that's a really solid position player team. And what was amazing to me was the quality of their arms. I mean, those are great arms. That's going to be a team that'll contend for the Pac-12 championship. I don't have any doubt. Their coaches do a great job, and that was exactly what we needed to have, that kind of a tough series prior to starting SEC play next weekend. You know, the game of baseball is very fickle. You know, in the first game, Josh crushes that ball that's barely foul, the one that hit the umpire. If it stays fair and doesn't hit the umpire, goes into the corner, we got the tying runs in scoring position. Who knows what ends up happening? This game ends with Baker riding a shot right at Reid at third base. You know, sometimes the game gives it, sometimes the game takes it away. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's areas that we need to get better. Obviously, offensively, we got to get more consistency. You know, we had some guys that had a tough weekend, and when your superstars have tough weekends, it's hard to score a lot of runs, you know, and it's a lot of responsibility on those guys' shoulders. You know, Smith and Duplantis and Watson and Cabrera, I mean, you know, you put a lot on those guys, but they have the ability to handle it. And, you know, they didn't really have a great weekend this weekend, none of them did. And because of that, it was hard for us to score many runs. Fortunately for us, Beloso kind of got off the schneid there today after, you know, the first 2.5 games not really swinging the bat all that well. And, you know, he put it, obviously that won the game with the second one, but, you know, he swung it like I believed that he could. It was almost like carbon copy conversation, only long distance that we had prior to this at bat like we did before Army. I yelled out to him, do you want to bunt or do you want to hit? And he said, I want to hit. I said, well, then let's go. First pitch, boom. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that more often.
Does he know how to bunt?
He's not the greatest bunter. Let's just put it that way.
What was the spark Reid gave you today?
Reid's been giving us a spark every day. I mean, he's playing so much better now than he's ever done in his career. He's in better shape. He's hustling. He's working hard. He's got a maturity about him. I can't put into words just how proud I am of Chris, you know. And I shudder at the thought of where we'd be without him, to be honest with you. He's playing great, and I couldn't be happier for him.
Is he going to be the starting third baseman going
forward?
forward?
Yeah, let's I don't know, you know. Today he was the great player for us, and we'll make the lineup out for Tuesday when Tuesday rolls around. But I can't answer that question right now.
How happy are the way you responded? How happy are you to the way Fontenot responded after what happened last night and what he did today?
That was without a doubt the highlight of the day. I'm not going to tell you anything that's not true. I challenged him last night. I got after him pretty good because I just didn't think he was fulfilling his great potential. This kid has the potential to be a major league pitcher. He's got a super arm, he's got a repeatable delivery, and he can throw strikes, and his slider's getting better. And I just want to push him through the threshold to make him want to be great, because the sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned with him. And, you know, he took the challenge that I put in his lap yesterday and responded to it today. We wouldn't have won without him today.
What went into kind of keeping him in that fourth inning, or the seventh inning?
I just thought it was his game. You know, I asked AD after the 6th inning, if we shut him down now, would we have him available Tuesday out of the pen? And AD said, no, I don't think so. I said, then let's just ride him. You know, it was his game. I almost brought in Peterson to face Baker. Baker was a pesky little son of a gun the whole weekend, you know. And, you know, he had gotten a hit off Fontenot earlier, but he had gotten a hit off of Peterson in game 1. So, you know, what do? Just hope that he hit it at there. And I said, I hope he just hits it at somebody. And luckily for us, he did.
I mean, obviously, Chris Reid's offense has been so great, but how surprised you with how effective he's been on defense?
Oh, no, he's always been a good defensive player. Yeah, that kid is just a very skilled baseball player. He's not, I've said it 100 times, you know, he's not the best athlete we have. You know, he's not the fleetest of foot or the most powerful or anything like that. But he's a good baseball player skills-wise. He's got good hands. He's got a strong, accurate arm. and he puts the bat on the ball. Today he hit one out. He got a big hit there to start the rally at the end. He made terrific play after terrific play at third base. So yeah, he's. I know this young man from Tiger Television wants me to make some kind of a commitment, but nothing is etched in stone in this business, But obviously, Chris is going to be a big part
With
going
his training
forward.
regimen, will you just call off foul ball from now on? Or what?
What doing what?
With Reid's training regimen, will you just call off foul ball?
What do you,
He's
oh,
saying-
call a fall ball. I thought you were saying call a foul ball.
I didn't hear either.
Chris, this season is a dream for Chris. He got to miss all of fall practice. Didn't have to do anything over winter break. Took off the first 4 weeks. 2 weeks of practice before the season began. Hey, I'm ready to go, coach. He's like the season. He's like the 15-year veteran that skips most of spring training and then he's ready to go. Didn't do anything in the off season.
Why 7-inning games?
Well, there was a couple of reasons why, Scooter. Number one, we had originally scheduled the game at 3 today because of the basketball game.
Yeah.
That's why we did it, because of the basketball game. So, of course, it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. That's why we made the doubleheader. So then the question is, okay, what time do we start and how can we get the games in before the basketball game begins? Because that was the intent anyway, to start at 3. So, and the second reason is, in all honesty, it's what we do in the SEC. And our players aren't used to playing 17 games. I thought it would be a good, exercise, so to speak, to play 7-inning games so that in case we have to do it during the SEC schedule, we might as well get used to it.
You think Walker just kind of ran out of gas in that third inning?
I don't know. It's hard to say, I don't know. He's still not quite the old Eric Walker as far as total sharpness, and there's a second time around the order, and I think it just got to him a little bit. But I'll talk with AD about it and figure it out. He's just the margin for error with Eric is very slim because he just doesn't have overpowering stuff. If all of a sudden he doesn't get a corner called by an umpire and he has to move it in just a little bit, it's much more hittable than a lot
He
of
had a
guys.
chance to get out of that if you hold the ball at the plate, too.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, that was a hell of a play by Josh, and unfortunately, Brock wasn't able to hold on to it. But you're not gonna get me to criticize Brock. That kid just gave it all he had for 14 innings. Okay, you're right there, Bill.
Where do you think this pitching staff is now after this weekend? You had some high points, you had some low points.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I was absolutely thrilled with the way Cole Henry threw, and just now I'm just concerned, that he, we had to take him out of the game because he tightened up. Hopefully a couple days of rest and treatment, and he'll be okay for next weekend. I don't know. I got to sit down and talk with Alan about it, sleep on it a little bit. I think there's some real bright spots. I mean, really, when you think about it, we only had 2 bad innings in 2 games, right? We had the one inning where Todd, gave up 4 hits, and that doesn't happen very frequently. And then we had the one bad inning where Eric gave up the 4 runs in the second game. So, you like to think that if you only have 2 bad innings out of 14, your pitching is going to give you a chance to win. I just think everything about our team just needs to get a little bit better. We just, we're not in we're not at that point yet. Wilson, I know you're new around here, and everybody else will be sick of me saying this because they've heard me say it for a lot of years. But, I want us to be a better team in April than we are in March, and a better team in June than we are, or May. I guess I skipped May than April, and June than May. And you can't be perfect the first day of the season and then improve from there. You got to keep working on the things that it takes to get better. We're doing some good things, and we're doing some things that need to improve. There's no question about it. We get ranked preseason and number 1 as number 1 team. Everybody thinks we got this perfect team. We're the greatest team in the history of college baseball. And I always kind of snickered at that to myself because when you're with your team every day, you see certain limitations that they're going to have to improve upon. And I knew we weren't going to go 56-0, and we've been fortunate to win some of the games, but some of the games we've made our own breaks too. I mean, say we're fortunate to win. Cade Beloso crushed a 2-run homer to win the game for us. Fontenot pitched his heart out for 4 innings or so to win the game for us. So not all of that is luck. You know what I mean? That's a really good team. This has been a really tough pre-SEC schedule. When it's not over yet, we got to go to Northwestern State on Tuesday. So I'll know better about our pitching after Landon Marceau's outing on Tuesday. Okay.